a guy.
We got a guy.
All right. So the guy that I'm gonna promote today, well, they're promoting today. I met him like a month ago. I thought the first time I met him, I thought he was the weirdest person I've ever met in my life. I took him on an off day, and I just remember I was looking at his resume, and then the first thing I noticed is he gets paid at his old job $100 an hour. So I was like, whoa, $100 an hour? This guy must be crazy, like owning his own business, $100 an hour? And then I talked to him and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man, you own your own business, that's awesome. How many clients or, how many hours did you work? He goes, like about like 2 a week, I'm like, two weeks, so that's like $200 a week. Oh, you cheeky! I just talked to Paul, so I kept calling him cheeky again. But so yeah, that's that. I was talking to him, and I was like, okay, so I get what he's doing. So he has that entrepreneurial mindset. That's like really big. He always talked about owning his own business. He always talked about just expanding, and he wants to grow and he wants to be a bigger person. So I thought it was like super amazing. Now, I think the biggest thing about him, and I'm not going to take up too much of the time. The biggest thing about him is we talk a lot about like work ethic. We talk a lot about entrepreneurial mindset like he has. Work ethic, I told him 8 great working habits. I told him, so be on time. What be on time means is come early. So when he got the position, I told him, okay, you have to be here at 9:30, but of course be early, right, 9:15. He goes, okay, what time are you gonna be here? I said, I have to be here at 9, so of course I'm gonna be here at 8:30. And he goes, okay, cool. So then it was like 6:50 the next day. And he goes, hey, it takes an hour to get there, so I'm gonna leave right now. And I'm like, 6:50? He's gonna be here at 7:50, and I look and it's like 7:30, and I'm like, it takes me 20 minutes to get. He cannot beat me. And ever since then, we've been racing to the office every day. He comes in super early all the time. He's ready to learn. When we talk about work ethic again, he already has like 10 notebooks packed up. They're in my car, so take them out. But we can't hold him back any longer. He's just a beast. Tony, welcome to leadership.
Alright, do you guys want to horseshoe around me here? So I go
We don't
you?
want
Yeah. It'll be fun. Horses are cool, right?
That is true.
First of all, how's everyone doing today?
Fantastic!
Great!
Sweet, that was awesome.
What'd they say?
Love every second of it. Alright, so for you guys don't know, I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Alright, so I'm going to kind of talk about how I got to FAST and kind of like my journey here. Because life's all about the journey, right? Okay, so before FAST, I was working, I was turned 16, I really wanted a job. My parents said, focus on school first. I said, I'm going to get a job first. So I joined NROTC. It was a brand new program they started at Great Lakes Naval Academy. I joined that, like literally turning 16, my parents' signature. I went off to boot camp June 28th, my sophomore year of high school. It was a 3-week program. We had to pass all the same requirements as the regular Navy, swim test, physical test. I managed to do them all. I was the smallest kid in my division. We called us Delta Squad because we were the rejects, but we still had the highest graduating class of anyone. We beat out Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. We managed to do it. It was great. After that, I got out. They didn't really pay a lot. They were only going to offer me $30,000 a year, plus like really crappy benefits, and I didn't want to do that. I thought there was more in me than just taking orders all my life and going off to fight in a desert somewhere. So I decided, what to do after that. Either become a cop, firefighter, or a paramedic. That's what a lot of people did in my unit. So I went to school. I got my EMT license. I was an EMT with Superior Ambulance for a couple of months. They only paid me $10 an hour for driving ambulances around, which is, again, really awful. For what I had to deal with, I didn't sleep at all. My schedule was always different. It was like 12, 16 on, 24 off. And after that, I decided I wanted to have my own company. I didn't want to take orders anymore. I was taking orders for the last 6 years. I couldn't do it anymore. I was getting pounded. So after that, I decided, do something I'm good at, and then the money will come to me. So I always knew a lot about computers. I used to try and fix them for my teachers, anyone at school, make a quick extra $20, $30. So I put an ad on Craigslist, just out of nowhere, like IT professionals. My slogan was, I'm not a geek or a genius, I'm just a professional. Thought that was clever, right? So I always promised people I'd be able to beat the price by $10 for Best Buy or Genius Squad, whoever the hell was fixing it. And that's how I kind of took off. You know, a lot of people started calling me. I started calling local small businesses. I said, as you guys grow, I'm going to grow with you. I'm going to take your company to the next level, make sure everything works. Because a lot of the times the small businesses, they don't have enough money for an IT manager. So I offered my services to them, and I told them, hey, you know, when you guys expand, just keep me in mind, and we'll grow together. After that, I started. It wasn't really consistent enough. A lot of people were going back to school, and I kind of lost some of my business. So I needed something more consistent. I wanted to do more with my life. So I posted my resume on a bunch of different websites. I actually paid $1 for my resume, if that's what you guys are wondering why it's so good. It was great. So I got the email from Fast that I was being hired for an entry-level management position. I'm like, oh, sweet, you know, I think I can do this. So I got here. I sat down in my interview with Toff. I don't know where he's at right now. But I sat down. I didn't really know what to expect. I thought they were going to hand me a phone and I was going to start selling penny stocks like in Wolf of Wall Street. These guys are all nuts, by the way. So it was kind of weird to go to Walmart and sell Xfinity, but it was kind of the same mindset. You know, sell enough of it, you're going to get paid, as long as you pay the IRS, of course. But so I sat down with him. He told me about the business. I said, you know what, I can do this. You know, I've always had, you know, a self-driven motivation with me. I always knew I was going to succeed. I never knew how, though. People used to tell me what I'm going to do in my life. I'm like, I'm going to succeed. I'm like, okay, what the hell are you going to do? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm just going to succeed, guys. So this was kind of like the way I knew how I was going to succeed. This was like, okay, this fits, this clicks, this is how I'm going to do it. So after that, you know, I took the Java course, and it's all kind of history from there. Some of my short-term goals is I want to have at least 8 people on my team by the time Cabo comes around. I want to be able to efficiently manage them and get everyone to CT and have everyone with a stellar install rate just like mine. Some of my midterm goals is, of course, I want to make sure that they all have the right training. I want to make sure they're ready to go before Cabo so I can go. And then I want to talk about my Step 7 for a little bit. I want to talk about someone who's really motivated me in my life. So my dad, he worked for AT&T for 35 years. Instead of him getting promoted in about a year like Toff did, it took him about 10 years. He started out climbing telephone poles in the middle of North Ashton in Chicago. If anybody knows that area, it's freaking horrible. Yeah. So he managed to go from North Ashton climbing telephone poles to the VP of operations for AT&T, which is really cool. I remember as a kid, he'd have to fly out to California Monday through Friday. And I always wondered, like, who could leave their family Monday through Friday? Like, why? And I finally get it. He did that so I could be here today talking to you guys. I didn't get that till a couple days ago, but it finally all clicked. And you know, he taught me everything. I remember listening on the phone calls when he was managing all of his people, doing escalations when power would go out or some other crap would happen with AT&T. And that's kind of always been my goal. He just took another job, actually, when AT&T shafted him after 35 years. He works for Vaughn Technologies now. And he unfortunately just re-signed his contract, so I'm hoping I can buy him out of that contract so he doesn't have to work anymore. My other number 7 is my mom. She's really sick. And unfortunately with healthcare, depending on how long you live is how much money you have. So if I can get more money, my mom gets to live longer, which is really shitty, but I'm gonna really try for it. And I'm gonna really make sure I can prolong her life and have a good life too. And another thing I wanna do, because I'm like, okay, what happens after that? What happens after I pay off my parents' house? What happens after I retire them? I wanna open up my own free clinic. I wanna hire the best doctors, best medicine, best technology. I wanna try and help as many people as I can. That's always been my goal. I've always wanted to help people. And I've got a quote too. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And what that means is don't wait for those cloudy skies to go away. Never settle. Go out there and do it. You don't want to just be sitting there content and happy, because if you're content and happy, you don't have that nervous feeling in your stomach, you're not doing it right. Like anytime I'm nervous or I feel like uneasy like I am right now, of course, I know I'm doing something right. Because the first time you settle, the first time you stay happy, you're not going to perform anymore. You're going to take your foot off the gas pedal. And some advice I give to new people is anyone can do this. I have no sales experience. I sold apple pies and McDoubles at McDonald's. That was about it. That's the only sales experience I have. I took one business class in college. Other than that, I stared at a microscope for 2 years. That was about it. So anyone can do this, guys. If I'm up here doing this, I know each and every one of you can, because if you put your mind 100% effort into it, you can do anything. You really can. I'm proof of that right here. Juice, guys? Yeah!
Is it cold?
That was really good.
Yeah, killing it. All
right, man. All right, cool. So when you get promoted to leadership, you get pins. So tell me, who's your pin? I'm gonna stab you. Sure.
Do it military style. You just pop it right in there.
There
There we go.
Getting
Oh,
striped,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Getting
We got some
striped.
veterans in the house. I like it. I like it.
There we go.
All right.
All right, everyone, give him a round of applause.
Great job, man. Yeah, so the significance of the pin is to separate the corporate trainers, right? These are the guys that you can be asking questions to, networking with. So if you see a guy with a pin, they're at that level, okay? Now, a few things I do want to point out from what he was going over. His student mentality was incredible. He came in and he absolutely killed it. But there was a piece that was missing. And he networked and networked and networked until he was able to put that piece of the puzzle back in. Now, at the end of the day, his step 7, where he's trying to help his family and help other people, that's a step 7 that you can't come back from. Like, if your step 7 is a Corvette, right? Like, and you don't get your Corvette, it's no big deal. You don't have a Corvette. His step 7 involves other people. So he's going to work extra hard to make sure that he provides for those people. And I know you're going to do it, man. I can't wait to see you in Cabo. So another round of applause for Tony. Really quick, we are going to do a 180, and we have Natasha here from Xfinity for the quick announcement.